Hey, Robert, with Kyler Murray, you've seen a lot of quarterbacks take big leaps from year one to year two. What are you expecting to see out of Kyler Murray this year?
You know, he doesn't get enough credit. Maybe he does. I'm just blind to it. But you know, that second half of the year when it just seemed like he was playing a lot more quarterback. Not to say that he wasn't running, but he was playing. He wasn't running as often. He was playing a lot more quarterback. It just seemed like he became a much better football player, and their offense was humming. And they became a very explosive offense towards the second half of the year. And a guy like him, and from everything you read about and hear about from people around the league, he's just got an unbelievable mindset and an unbelievable work ethic. So he's got weapons all over the place on the offensive side of the ball, and his head coach is a pretty darn good play caller, and so you expect the guy to make a jump, and so with Kyler, I do think we're going to get his absolute best.
Robert, what is unique about the Cardinals offense schematically? What makes it different than the other 31 offenses in the NFL?
You know, they find different ways to attack you when you look at the perimeter and the inside, both inside and outside. You know, they do a really nice job with formations and hiding their schemes. They do a really good job with their blocking combinations, their gap schemes, and all that stuff. So you add the element of the quarterback, and they're very smart in how they use them. And the fact that he's actually usually you look at running quarterbacks and they're not really good throwers. And this kid is the more he played quarterback, the better he got. And there's no doubt he could sit in the pocket and be Tom Brady if he wants to. Not to put him on that level yet, but he can sit in the pocket and be an unbelievable pocket passer, or he can be a scrambler. He can be a runner. He can be whatever he wants. He's a very, very talented quarterback, and his sky's the limit, in my opinion.
Robert, you had tremendously high praise for Kyler Murray just now. He's clearly a phenomenal athlete, but you're talking about him as a quarterback. Just how advanced of a pocket passer, does he look to you on film?
And that's what I was getting at. Like as the year went on, I know he got dinged up a little bit, and I don't know if that's why he didn't run it as much towards the second half of the year. But when he actually played quarterback, I felt like that's where he progressed the most, playing quarterback. And does he have room to improve? Absolutely. But you could see that he's very, very capable of sitting back there and he goes through reads. You can see him deliberately going through a progression. He's not a one read, throw the ball, run. He's not that. He can be a pocket passer if he needs to be. And so that obviously he's got to get more reps at that and learn, but he's very, very capable and has proven it. And then his arm he's got a hose for an arm, and he's shown, and his accuracy improved over the course of the year. So he's gifted, and the more reps he gets and the more opportunities he has to go be a drop back passer and play quarterback, the better he's going to get. And so they definitely got a good one over there.
Nick Bosa said yesterday that you guys are better prepared to face a mobile quarterback like Kyler Murray. Without giving away anything schematically, what is it about your defense that is better prepared this year?
It's I guess you could say reps. You know, you go through it a couple of times. We had Lamar Jackson to play against. You get Russell a couple of times a year, and you just have an understanding of the speed. You can't simulate the speed that Kyler has on the football field, and all the different things that they do schematically to kind of stress you with. I mean, you have to defend the entire field, and they do as good a job as anybody in football making you do that. So it's a challenge, and it takes reps to really understand the speed at which they play and the space that they create and the mindset that you have to play as an individual. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge on Sunday, and we know we're going to get their absolute best. So we're excited about it.
Robert, is the Cardinals offense sort of frustrating at times, just the way they sort of dink and dunk sometimes? They throw a lot of screens, a lot of short passes, read options, stuff that's not necessarily beating you down the field. Does that sort of necessitate patience?
It makes you disciplined. There's and that's what I'm talking about with making you defend the field. They do as good a job as anybody in football. So it takes an extreme amount of discipline on both sides of the ball, and it really creates a battle of efficiency and precision, where defensively you've got to be precise, and for them offensively they've got to be precise, and they do a very good job teaching. Their players do a great job executing, and because of it, you just saw them get much better as the course of the year went on. So, and then you add the fact that they get Hopkins and they're another year into the system. So it's it's gonna be a good challenge for sure.
Robert, the last time we talked to you, you mentioned the red zone defense, and the 49ers went from allowing 41% of red zone drives to end in a touchdown. That was when Tart played through December 1, which was third in the NFL, and that jumped to 62% by the season's end, which was 26. So just going back to the Cardinals, what challenges do they present in the red area just with a mobile quarterback and knowing that he can run just zone read, and especially now that they have DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, they're when you got a quarterback who can run it in, you got a running back who can pound it in, and you got receivers that you can just throw the ball to. They present a tremendous challenge in the red zone. You're right. We did not finish the year in the red zone the way we wanted. We were third in the NFL until the last 4 weeks of the season, and it wasn't good. And looking at ourselves scouting all that stuff, it's definitely things that we can fix both as coaches and players. But yeah, when you've got a group of guys like they do in terms of from a skill position standpoint, and they can pound it in, they can run it in with the quarterback, they can throw the ball to any one of the receivers and then go get it. It's definitely a challenge. So we've just got to make sure that we're very detailed and understand that when it gets in the red zone, it's all about precision. It's going to happen quick, and if we're on our job, we'll at least have a chance to compete.
Do two more for Coach?
Hey, Robert. Richard Sherman has been a left side guy most of his career. Might that change at all this year? Figure I'd shoot my shot here.
I don't know. No, you never know. It's Sherm's a dynamic football player. So if any way we can use him to help us win football games, we'll do it. But it doesn't mean anything at this point moving forward.